significance plus. 8 magnitude earthquake hits Turkey, Syria. Hello, this is News Live on Viewer Television. I am Jennifer Okolo. Many thanks for joining us. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has decried the tragic murder of a number of Nigerian Muslim pilgrims on the way from Kayok, Senegal, when the buses conveying them came under gun attack in Burkina Faso. The President, in a statement by his senior special assistant on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, expressed condolences and prayed for the safety of the other Nigerians stranded in the country. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, through the Nigerian Embassy in Burkina Faso, is engaging with Burkina authorities and awaits the outcome of their investigation of the unfortunate incident and, if necessary, to ensure that all culprits are appropriately sanctioned. The federal government assures that it will make every effort to secure the mortal remains of the deceased and the survivors of the attack. Moving on, the Supreme Court has affirmed Senate President Ahmed Lawan as the All Progressive Congress senatorial candidate for Yobe North. In a judgment delivered on Monday, the Apex Court allowed the appeal filed by the APC against Bashir Mashina's candidature. The Apex Court had last Wednesday fixed February 6 for final judgment in the long-drawn legal battle. Delivering the judgment, 3 out of a 5-member panel concurred with the position of the APC that is sued at the trial court ought not to have commenced via an originating summons since it contained allegations of fraud. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Abdulrashid Bawa, has been committed to prison for allegedly disobeying court order. The court also directed the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, to effect Bawa's arrest and remand him in Kuje prison for the next 14 days until he purges himself of the contempt. Justice R.O. Ayola of the Kogi State High Court, in his judgment on Monday, granted the application for committal to prison of the EFCC chairman for disobeying a court ruling delivered on November 30, 2022, wherein the EFCC chairman was directed to produce the applicant in the case Ali Bello. Ali Bello had dragged Bawa to court for arresting and detaining him illegally with the court ruling in his favor, only for the EFCC to arraign him for alleged money laundering 3 days after the ruling. Also, a federal high court in Abuja has discharged former governor of Imo State, Rochas Okorocha, of 2.9 billion naira fraud charge preferred against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Justice Iyank Ekwo, in a ruling, struck out the EFCC suit for being in contravention with Section 105, Subsection 3 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015, which gives the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation the power to recall a case. The judge further held that from the moment the AGF gave the directive to the EFCC, the Commission ceased to have the legal authority to prosecute or continue the prosecution of the case. According to him, the order is binding until it is set aside. The judge also granted Okorocha's co-defendants Chinyeye bail in terms of the administrative bail earlier granted to him by the EFCC. Now, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, and Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, have signed a memorandum of understanding to strengthen partnerships between the two agencies towards improved service delivery in the areas of disaster management. The agreement was signed in Abuja by the Director General of NEMA, Mustafa Ahmed, and Commandant General of NSCDC, Ahmed Audi, at the NSCDC headquarters. Speaking at the occasion, the NEMA DG said the MOU was a step in the right direction towards the better provision of safety, security, and dignity of Nigerians before, during, and after the sudden onset of disasters and emergencies. In his remarks, the Commandant General of NSCDC, Ahmed Audi, described the MOU Act and germane to the mandate of NEMA and NSCDC, noting that it will further enhance the existing partnership and service delivery of the two agencies. When News Live returns, a group of registered voters in Maiduguri threatens to sue the Independent National Electoral Commission if it fails to issue the PVCs before collection deadline. Details of this and more comes to you right after the break.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm at the Envoy Hotel, Diplomatic Drive 305, here for a business weekend. It's been an amazing stay. Conference hall and business facilities here are stylish and innovative. The Envoy Hotel is luxury, esoteric, opulent, for ultimate comfort.
most discerning travelers, we are more than just a place to stay. We are an icon of comfort, style, and thoughtful luxury. We are Envoy Hotel.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is News Live in Viewer Television. Here's a recap of our top stories. Supreme Court declares Lawan as authentic candidate of Yobe North. National Emergency Management Agency and Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps signed pact on disaster management. Plus, 7.8 magnitude earthquake hits Turkey, Syria. Now, moving on, ahead of the 2023 general elections, the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, has advised motorists in the country to obey all traffic rules and regulations throughout the electioneering period to forestall. The Kuje Unit Commander of FRSC, Eugene Wabike, gave the advice in an interview in Kuje. Wabike spoke on the sidelines of a sensitization workshop with the drivers in the area. He said that despite repeated warnings and cautions, some of the drivers are still violating the established traffic laws by driving above the approved speed limit. According to him, the unit has put in place more personnel and operational vehicles to combat envisioned traffic gridlocks arising from political activities ahead of the general elections. Moving on to Borno State, aggrieved registered voters without permanent voters cards in Maiduguri have threatened to sue the Independent National Electoral Commission if it fails to issue the PVCs before Monday's collection deadline. The prospective voters at a press briefing in NUJ Center lamented that despite continuous excuses and postponement to issue the PVCs, the Electoral Commission has been selective in the distribution of the voter cards. They alleged that the denial of the cards is perceived to be partisan. The spokesman of the group, Ishaku Yakubu, said it has evidence to prove a case against INEC and will head to court if the electoral body fails to release their PVCs in the next 48 hours.
We have video clips, we have evidence, we have the voice record of the INEC staff telling us that we can't get our card till after 2023 elections. It's on record. We have video clip where they are demanding for us to give us some tips before they get out our cards. It's on record. We also have evidence, both video and voice message, where they are telling us they will not issue us our cards because we are from southern Borno, we are from southern part of Nigeria. These are many more.
Also, Ali Ndume has said that the scarcity of the new redesigned Naira is affecting the fight against insurgency in the northeast. The chairman, Senate Committee on Army, at a chit-chat with journalists in his residence, revealed that the situation has caused more hardships across the country and forced frontline troops to struggling to feed as well as affecting logistics and military operations. He stressed that CBN and the FG should make the new notes available to avoid widespread protests that could be similar to the NSAS protests.
As it is now, they are finding it very difficult to access cash, especially the new notes. So the CBN Bank cashless policy and the new Naira design is affecting the security operations negatively, and it should be considered before it gets out of hand.
Still on Naira design, 13 political parties out of the 18 political parties in Nigeria have threatened to withdraw from participating in the 2023 general elections slated for February 25th and March 11th if the Central Bank of Nigeria extends the deadline of February 10 for Naira swap. The parties have declared that they won't be participating in the elections if the new deadline of February 10, 2023 is shifted again. The coalition of chairmen of the political parties who commended President Muhammad Buhari on the redesign of the 200 naira, 500 naira and 1000 naira bank notes insisted that the policy must stand. The parties also knocked the Kaduna, Kogi and Zamfara state governments for heading to the Supreme Court to get court injunction to extend the deadline for the validity of 3 old notes. Well, many Nigerians are going through hard times as the country is hit by a shortage of the country's currency, the naira. Long queues in banking halls and at cash dispensing machines are also worsening as Nigerians begin to pay for cash. Viewers Television's Ekioma Otwung files in this report.
After the CBN extended the deadline for the old 200, 500 and 1,000 naira note to become legal tender, Nigerians still decry poor circulation of the new redesigned notes. And so here in the marketplace where buying and selling occurs mostly with cash, people are saying that there is no cash even for transactions, and even transfers or point of sale transfers with cards, with their debit cards, have failed transactions because the network providers or the bank providers are also experiencing network challenges. This situation is biting hard as many Nigerians say the policy is not workable in a country still developing like Nigeria. In October 2022, the central bank, through its governor, Godwin Emefiele, announced the redesign of the 200, 500 and 1,000 naira notes and asked Nigerians to deposit the old notes before January 31, 2023. Although the deadline was extended till February 10, 2023, Nigerians have found it difficult to obtain the new naira notes, and even the old notes seem scarce. The days before and after the deadline extension have witnessed long queues at ATM points, banking halls and many viral videos showing Nigerians expressing their anger and frustration in various ways, fueled by petrol scarcity. The banks only give 2,000 naira over-the-counter withdrawals. POS operators have been out of business as there is no cash to operate. Those who have cash for transaction have increased their charges by 20% of any amount requested as against 1% original charge. Some Nigerians say they use naira to buy naira, and alternate transaction methods such as bank transfers have witnessed more failed transactions than successful transactions.
We are finding it difficult to sell and to buy. There are some customers that does not have accounts and they cannot transfer. And there are some that even transferring, when you buy and you say you want to transfer, it will not go. The money will hang. So it's not really funny. We cannot buy, we cannot sell.
I'm going to market to come and buy stuff. I've been here for like 30 minutes. I don't have cash me, but these are my customers. I buy something from them just to transfer, and it's taking me more than 30 minutes now. And I can't even live here if the money did not drop in their account or something. So it's not been funny to every one of us. Going to the bank, I went to the bank, I was giving just 1,000 naira. What do I do with 1,000 naira? When I needed like 50,000 naira. Go to place, go to POS, they don't even have the cash. They don't have the cash to give. Even if they want to give, it's like they sold the naira to you. When they ask you to pay like 1,000 naira for 5,000 naira.
So this issue of money that is not no money for people hand now, wallah, it is very difficult for us, even for our market here. 5% of our customers, where them come, 3% of it is all transfer. So we don't have cash. Even we go to buy the market there, no cash for our hand. Then we said that will not allow us to transfer to for them.
In the face of the worrisome situation, this POS operator says he has not changed his charges. However, like the banks, he has a limit for customers who come for his services.
As in since that day when we hear this cashless policy, I'm not adding 1 naira from my charges. Like before, if you are coming before, you say give me 100. I can't give you now because many people need that money. My limit is 5,000. I'm not past that 5,000.
Nigeria's President Muhammad Buhari acknowledges the hardship and has assured Nigerians that there will be significant improvement in the cash shortage being experienced before the February 10th deadline. How long this phase of hardship will be over for Nigerians remains to be seen. Ikioma Atong, Viewer Television News, Abuja.
Now, Nigeria accounts for the third highest number of women and girls who have undergone female genital mutilation, with an estimated 19.9 million survivors, two UN agencies have said. UN agencies, the United Nations Children's Fund and the United Nations Population Fund, also said 4.3 million girls are at risk of female genital mutilation this year, and the number is projected to reach 4.6 million by 2030. In a joint statement made available, the agencies noted that the world will miss the target of ending FGM by 2030 without urgent action. February 6 is the International Day of Zero Tolerance for Female Genital Mutilation to amplify and direct the efforts in the elimination of this practice. The theme for this year is Partnership with Men and Boys to Transform Social and Gender Norms to End FGM. FGM comprises all procedures that involve partial or total removal of the external female genital or other injuries to the female genital organs for non-medical reasons. You are still watching News Live on Viewer Television. Business, international and entertainment news comes to you right after the break. Do stay tuned.
Fragrance, the new luxury fragrance for men and women.
Hey, let's get to advertise your products and services on our platform. Viewer Television is here to give your business a boost with a touch of professionalism. If you're a brand owner, entrepreneur, proud business owner, let's place your business in the face of your customers. Contact us so we can talk business on 081-2121-2278 or info@viewertv.com.ng. Always remember, we are here for you. Welcome back. Many thanks for staying with us. Now, on business today, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has disclosed that an average of 64.42 million liters of premium motor spirit was evacuated daily between January 28 and February 3rd. The company revealed this in a data report titled Weekly National PMS Evacuation and Dispatch, which was posted on its Twitter handle. Recall the insistent fuel scarcity led to protests in some parts of the country. According to the report, Pinnacle Depot transported 57.28 million liters, followed by ITO with 28.29 million liters. Mrs. Limited had 24.58 million liters. Others include Masters transporting 22.66 million liters, NIPCO 22.45 million liters, Bluefin 20.08 million liters, while 26 others had between 5 to 16 million liters each. Now, stakeholders have said the current 32.5% of cash reserve ratio requirement imposed on commercial banks by the Central Bank of Nigeria may hamper economic growth. According to them, the current reserve ratio has restricted commercial banks from increasing investments that would develop the critical sectors of the economy such as infrastructure, agriculture, health and others through credit facilities. The cash reserve ratio is the share of bank deposits that commercial banks must keep with the Central Bank of Nigeria. Describing the current rate as irrational, the president of the Independent Shareholders Association of Nigeria, Dr. Anthony Omojola, said the requirement had become a growing concern for shareholders across the country. Moving on to mines and steel, according to findings, the total number of minerals titles issued to mining companies has dropped by 36.63% within a period of 5 years. A document obtained shows that while 2,815 mineral titles were issued in 2016, 1,438 were issued in 2021. This was contained in a presentation document by the Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Olamilekan Adegbite, at the 9th edition of the President Muhammadu Buhari's Regime Scorecard 2015 to 2023 series, organized by the Ministry of Information and Culture. The mineral titles included mining exploration, quarry and small-scale mining licenses. Now over to stock markets. Despite investors' sentiment, trading and uncertainty surrounding the 2023 general elections, the anticipation for dividend payout and sectorial performance of the NGX Bank Index raised the stock market's capitalization by 1.08 trillion naira in January. The stock market in 2022 recorded foreign investors' apathy due to the scarcity of foreign exchange, double-digit inflation rate, and hike in the monetary policy rate to 16.5%. The market capitalization of all listed stock on the Nigerian exchange closed trading at 28.998 trillion naira on January 31st, 2023, an increase of 1.08 trillion naira from 27.915 trillion naira it closed for trading in 2022. Also, the NGX, the all-share index, rose by 3.88% or 1,987.61 basis points to 53,238.67 basis points, 1,987.61 BPS, or 3.88% from 51,251.06 basis points it closed for trading in 2022. Capital market analysts said the market so far in 2023 had witnessed sentiment trading by investors, stressing that anticipated dividend payment contributed to the 2.74% growth in the month under review. Moving on to news around the world, Ethiopians were voting on Monday in a referendum on the creation of a 12th regional state in the south of the country. The third such ballot in under 4 years. More than 3 million people are registered to vote in areas that currently fall in the Southern Nations, Nationalities and Peoples Region, SNNPR, according to election board figures cited by state media. Since Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed came to power in 2018, 2 new regional states have already been carved out: Sidama in 2019 and Southwest in 2021, both separated from the SNNPR, a mosaic of minority ethnic groups and scene of tension and violence in recent years. Results are due on February 15. Now over to Mali. Mali's ruling junta has revealed that it was expelling the head of the Human Rights Division of MINUSMA, the UN mission there, giving him 48 hours to leave the country. The decision comes after a Malian rights activist last month denounced the security situation in the country in a speech to a UN gathering and accused the regime's new Russian military partners of serious rights violations. The foreign ministry had declared Guillaume Andali, head of MINUSMA's head human rights section, persona non grata, said a statement issued by government spokesman Colonel Adolaye Maiga. Andali had taken it upon himself to decide who were the representatives of civil society, ignoring the authorities and national institutions, the statement added. MINUSMA was set up in 2013 to try to stabilize Mali in the face of the growing threat from jihadist fighters, but the security situation has continued to deteriorate in the West African country. Now, more than 1,300 people were killed when an earthquake struck central Turkey and northwest Syria in one of the most powerful quakes in the region in at least a century, while a second powerful shake hours later threatened with overwhelmed rescue efforts. Thousands more were injured as the quake wiped out entire sections of major cities in a region filled with millions of people who have fled the civil war in Syria. The magnitude 7.8 quake, which hit in the early darkness of a winter morning, was followed by a second 7.7 quake in the middle of a day on Monday, as rescuers in both countries were still attempting to research for survivors. Hundreds were still believed to be trapped under rubble, and the toll was expected to rise as rescue workers searched mounds of wreckage in cities and towns across the area. Now, Hong Kong's largest national security trial opened Monday with 47 pro-democracy figures accused of trying to topple the government. The defendants, who include some of the city's most prominent activists, face up to life in prison if convicted of conspiracy to commit subversion for involvement in an unofficial primary election. This case is the largest to date under the national security law, which China imposed on Hong Kong after huge democracy protests in 2019.
初選本來咧就係每個民主國家地區都會有嘅呢啲嘢，但係我唔明點解會喺香港會發生咁嘅事咯，即係初選都會犯法嘅咁樣。
As a sign of our commitment to democracy, human rights and rule of law. In this specific case, we are here because we observe with great care the trial of the Democrats under the national security law.
Now on entertainment news, Nigerian actress Yetunde Bakare has begged fathers to conduct DNA tests on their children at birth. She noted if it would require them to stay for a long or even borrow for the test, they should by all means do so. She said with the increased rate of dishonesty and paternity fraud in recent times, it is only right for every man to certify himself as the biological father of his children. Bakare also addressed mothers, urging them not to find it offensive when their partners demand for a paternity test for their children. Meanwhile, Thames who featured alongside Drake on Future's Wait For You, took home the award for Best Rap Melodic Performance. The song was also nominated for the Best Rap Song Award. She now joins Sade Odu, the British-Nigerian singer, as the only two female artists of Nigerian origin who have won Grammy. Sade took home the Grammy Award in 1986 when she emerged as the winner of the Best New Artist Award. Burna Boy, who was a Grammy Award too on himself, however missed out on his two nominations he featured in. Still on the awards night, Beyoncé has officially become the artist with the most Grammys in her cabinet. The 65th annual Grammy Awards ceremony took place in Los Angeles and Queen Bey collected almost all the wins she deserved. Even though she lost Album of the Year to Harry Styles, the talented artist still broke a massive record. According to Grammy.com, Bey has now surpassed the late British musician George Solti, who previously held the record of being the most awarded artist at the Lush ceremony. And that's all in the News Live. But before we go, here's a recap of the headlines. Supreme Court declares Lawan as authentic candidate of Yobe North. National Emergency Management Agency and Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps signed Path and Disaster Management Plus. 7.8 magnitude earthquake hits Turkey, Syria. Well, many thanks for watching. I am Jennifer Okolo. Please stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs.